People are going to fall asleep.
And we are a little bit early.
We're
Hi, everybody. Yeah, we see you all waiting there. And Randy says she might fall asleep. So
I know. Well, I totally get that. Because, I mean, if you're not in the Pacific time zone, you might definitely
And even
fall
for
asleep.
us, it's a little late to be starting the show.
Late.
It is on a weeknight. But I have to tell you all that I've always wanted to have a show just with Val. And I'm so happy that we are able to do it. We talked about it for a while, and then I had to put it off for a few times. And so we are doing it, and we would love feedback from you as to what you might also like to see. But Val, why don't you go ahead and tell the folks what the vision is, if you have it written down, because I don't have it right in front of me.
Yeah, I do have it written down. So
yes, Jenny,
it's
you
really,
can ask questions.
Yeah, this is really this is really going to be a fun show, but it's going to be informative. But if we're going to help you figure it out. We're going to find out what is your heart's desire about what you really are here to do in this lifetime. What is your path, your divine plan? Are you a light worker, an empath, a channel, an earth keeper, a medium, a psychic, a numerologist, or a Akashic record reader, or a reader, etc.? I mean, you could be one or many of those. It could be any of those, any combination. They're ever all of them, for all I know. But every 2 weeks or so, Aley and I will get together and we'll discover what those are. And if you guys have any kind of ideas, throw them out there. So yeah, this is about really dipping your toes into this unseen or unobserved, those things that might be lying hidden or dormant within you. Those are your gifts and talents, your innate ability. You may not have scratched the surface of. You might find it easy to learn this or easy to do this, and you don't think it's a gift or a skill, but it's really your main reason why you're here. So these are things that will help you. Aley and I will help you uncover those.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. And the other thing that's listed on here is sweet spots. We can even talk about being about where your sweet spot might be, and that could be a physicality. Like for me, my sweet spot is here. I know that it's in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if Val would say Las Vegas is hers, but I think California is. So
yeah, California is not Nevada, not Southern Nevada. Definitely
is like Reno. Yeah, I loved Reno.
Yeah, Reno is more. Well, it's right near California
and Tahoe. Yeah.
So and Tahoe. So that's like my backyard. So I could relate to that. But
well, honey, you could be destined to be a circus clown if that's what you want to be.
You could, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that can take many forms and in many platforms, not just being in the big tent. So
Kimberly Canoe says, you squish your names together, you get the Valley Girls.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
that's cute.
Yeah, well, and so yes, you've always had so many options, but it has been hard to choose. Yeah. And you know what happened to me, Rossi, was when I first came on YouTube in November of 2020, I didn't feel like I was really good at anything, but I'm such a wide variety of things that I really love. So I decided to come in and do interviews of spiritual people. That's what I did when I started. And I didn't do any readings then. And I think it took a while for people to realize that eventually I was okay doing some readings, but it was okay. No, because I didn't feel confident in it. And
well, yeah, I mean, we all have to, when we start, we have that feeling like
we do. Yeah.
It's every one of us has that.
Yeah, you feel like the imposter syndrome.
You do, and it's a natural occurrence where you go, you fake it till you make it kind of thing. But I mean, not with readings. You're really doing real readings. You just feel like,
I know.
It's just a feeling, but
Especially that's another reason when the tarot, if I see the death card come up, which I know what it means, but or the tower or the what is it, the swords with all the stabbings in the back. I don't really like looking around.
The 9 of Swords. These are things, of course, when you're starting to learn tarot, I just call it tarot, but when you're starting to learn it, you might have steered away from tarot because it has scary cards. But then after you really educate yourself, you discover that none of these cards are scary and they don't have to mean something weird. Like the Tower is just simply your
tearing things down.
Yes. And you're going to be regenerating your life, renewing whatever it is that you want to bring in, or choosing a new way to look at life and go through everything. And the Devil, I mean, for me,
I know.
For me, if I get the Devil card, it's talking about my sugar addiction.
Okay.
So, I mean,
so you know it though, and
of
that's
course I know it because it's my. I mean, I don't have very many vices in life. I don't smoke. I hardly ever drink. And what vice is there left? My yums.
Yeah. No, and that the only thing that's helped me curb my appetite is getting those Wegovy shots. I'm not hungry at all, and I don't have any cravings, so I'm really happy about it. But
it would be nice.
It is being overweight is it is a medical problem. It really is, and you can't help it. So this tames the mind, but.
I love that.
Let's say hi to a few folks. Hi, Diana again, and Christine. A lot of you came over from my other show. Thank you, Randy and SCR Dacker Brown and Anita Larson's here. Cat Mama, of course, Laura Hammond Davis, Karen Doyle, Starfish Jenny, who's doing so well on her own. Yay. Lalima here, Kimberly's here. And yes, you can ask questions, Jenny. Rossi's here, Create Love. Carolyn and Peter, Mary Thornberry, Garnet McLeavy. Nice to see you, Garnet. Let's see who else. Barbara Nesper. And goodness sakes.
I'm surprised all of you are here this late.
Still awake. Mr. Floyd Chanlings. Yeah. Wow. I know. Val and I were like, we needed a nap. Imelda. Courtney Ehlers, Lisa is here, and oh goodness sakes, Nana Heather is here. Oh wow, thank you so much for being here, especially Maria is receiving abundance. Boy, I love
your name. Yeah,
good for you. And you're saying you're receiving it, so you're keeping it in the present, and that's exactly what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Everybody thought you were in California, but you did grow up in California. So, yeah. And Jules is here. And here we go. Diana remembers me from those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Debbie Gesseman is here. What did you say? Debbie, love to have a show that's really spiritually interesting. Doubts abound. Good. Yeah, so I would say that this could be a place that you could ask any kind of question you really want. The subject tonight is, what might be something that you feel it could be a talent that you have. I want to say, I don't think Ness is here, but she was on my dream show earlier tonight. And she came on and I let her come into the StreamYard, and she explained her dream. And she has escalated in her own dreams interpretation so much, and she's remembering her dreams, and now she's interacting with things in her dreams.
That's lucid dreaming, folks.
That's lucid dreaming. It is. And she's healing ancestry up the line and down the line. And she's really exploding. Did she know that dreams was ever going to be that for her? No, probably not. But
she seems to have a forte there, a gift.
She does. Yes, she really does.
Yes.
Yeah. Ariel, Janet DC, Maria. The shots are the ones for like Ozempic. That's what it is. I was overweight. Oh, Ness is here. Good, Ness. Good. You are a success story with the dreams, Ness, and
Yeah.
I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Kathy 11, you're being a taxi. Oh no, I hope you're going to get paid. Linda Kennedy. Oh, you nap at normal time, so you're ready this late. All right.
Oh, good.
Patricia Franzino, how are you, dear? My goodness. Oh, here's the subject. What hidden talent might you have?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you so much. Wow. And Debbie, thank you, everybody, for being here. Hi, Penny. It's nice to see you, too. Yes. Penny is, Penny Poniatowski is Diana's cousin.
Oh, really? Hi, Penny.
Yeah.
And I mean, Diane is awesome.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Hi, Lori. Lori's here. Yeah. So what spiritual paths I can be good at and be of service?
Yes. Right. What spiritual path?
I'm wondering, Rossi, if I can ask you a couple questions. Are you more comfortable with, remember now, cards are just tools. And a lot of people start with cards because they want something tangible. They're a little nervous about just starting out being psychic. And so if they have the cards, it's not a crutch, but it kind of is in a way, it gets you going to the direction you want to go. So I don't know if you feel compelled at all to like something like that, but I'm going to let Val tune into you and see what she thinks.
You know, I am getting the impression, Rossi, that you would do really well. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but animal communication, there's something about the healer in you. You have a strong affinity or an ability. I feel like this happens no matter what. But I mean, if you focused healing energy on animals, they would be healed really fast. But
Wow.
I feel like you really have that ability to actually see how, check in with people's pets and see how they're doing psychologically and emotionally, if they have needs that haven't been met, whatever it is that's bothering them. I feel like you could achieve that communication quite easily, actually, because I think you have a good rapport with animals. That's what I'm feeling for you. I do Reiki and animals like me. Yeah, do you do the Reiki on the
Cat Mama
animals?
too. Cat Mama, I think, would really. It's the same with Lisa Foster. It's like these three ladies, and I know Viviani is a animal communicator herself.
Yeah,
but it's like these three ladies have this affinity, really, for these animals, and they don't know that they're already communicating with them.
Rossi is saying she does Reiki and animals like her. So she just has to translate that Reiki, just do it for animals also, and open up your communication. So how you do that, Rossi, it's pretty simple. You actually just start talking in your head to the animal, and you wait, and you're going to hear that animal communicate with you. Just keep practicing it, and you're going to either get a thought voice or you're going to get a sensation, a feeling. Your way of communicating might be a little different, but you'll figure out what it is by trying it out and keep going, because they can connect with you. They will connect with you.
So the other thing I think that's important to remember is that, for instance, I take as many classes as I possibly can just to broaden my whole mind. I was trying to do a remote viewing class and actually have paid for it, but haven't done it yet. And when Val offered her Akashic Records class, of course, and I help her with it when she does it, I really love it. I don't want to read Akashic Records. There are people that will, but I have that in my toolbox.
Yes.
So it could be that while I may or may not feel compelled to want to do it right now, I may change my mind. But all of these things are part, and I started that a long time ago when I started reading our books about things, just to get as much information as I could. Things, the runes, things that, if you've ever heard of the runes, or the I Ching, or pendulums or dowsing. I mean, it's endless. It
It is
really
endless. And even I have an interest in the runes, but apparently they're quite complex. So
they are a little well, you know what's even more complex, Val, is the I Ching, but it's wonderful.
yeah, I've heard
It
about
is really
that.
wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You connect with Hunter and you're a Reiki master, so you work on Hunter. Well, see, that's where you start too, Courtney. You started with Hunter. And
Rossi,
getting,
if you took all my, I'm sorry, Aley, but I was just going to say, Rossi, you took all my classes. You know, when you communicate with animals, you just go right to the same place as if you're talking to the Akashic Record Masters. And that's where you communicate to, just like you are in channeling class, and you're in my channeling class. That's how you are going to be communicating with animals. Same way we do everything in channeling class. So I see you really taking off with that. It's not the only thing you do, but it's a thing you have a talent at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Cat Mama is a writer of children's books. I don't know if you all know this, but she has them. She's written them, and she has a book on animal Reiki. I mean, there you go. Don't you know, Cat Mama, that's a gift?
Yes.
That's a gift. That's
it's
a gift. And you can write more spiritual books for children.
Absolutely.
You absolutely could. You could talk about angels. You could talk about fairies. You could talk about anything you want, or animals. You know, she's going to try it with the cat. Rossi's going to try it with the cat. That's good. That's really good. I love that. Yes.
Yes.
And Ness said she started with astrology and then she started seeing repeating numbers. So there you go. Also angel numbers, numerology, and moved to tarot and so on. So yeah, it's and Garnet, I love that you're thinking about scrying. If you don't know what scrying is, everybody, it is crystal ball looking.
Yeah.
Looking at the crystal ball.
Gazing. And images will start showing up, or you'll get transmissions from it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Wow, I just love this with everybody here. I think that we all need to support each other and recognize that we are enough. We are enough. So most of us are light workers already. Most of us are. We carry light for the planet because we're spiritual. Some of us are empathic. Actually, maybe most of us are empathic. And we also are, we don't give ourselves any credit. We're intuitive, because we've all had that intuitive thing going on with us. But also we are psychic. We have gifts already, but we've maybe been afraid of them. We've shut them down.
Or we haven't really appreciated them as such. Say we have a friend and we think we know what's going on with them, or the neighbor down the street. You kind of get these hits on, oh, they must be having a hard time, or, oh, I feel like they're moving. You don't realize that's your intuition kicking in. You just have always lived with that, and you don't know, oh, that's your gift of claircognizance, or, clairvoyance. If you feel like things are going to happen, or you get a vision of something and then later it does happen.
Right.
All these things can seem like they're commonplace and you're going about but you don't pay it any mind.
Right.
You all have those experiences.
You have that.
You all do.
It's like me with my silly music. I'll bust into a song, or I'll hear a song. That's like my message. It's like,
It is.
And it really just touches me, because it just comes out of nowhere, but I get the message. I get in the lyric or in the song or with the person. So I think that's
it's a beautiful way. A lot of guides do it through music, or they give you gifts and information many different ways. That's a beautiful way, because it moves you. It's a beautiful way to receive what they're trying to say.
It
Definitely.
really is. Yeah. So my suggestion, everybody says, oh, meditate. Well, okay, I know you all don't want to meditate. All right. So instead of meditating or using the word meditate, say you're going, put your sneakers on, go outside and be present. Go take a walk, and I want you to look at everything you go by like it's a miracle. All the flowers popping up, little birds on the trees. Today I could hear birds chirping outside my window, and I know they're babies. I know they're babies because they're little tiny ones. And I thought, ooh, we've got new life being birthed out right outside my window.
Yes.
And but it's like we don't take that time. And if you're driving a car, which you have to get somewhere, you have to drive your car, but you miss everything. You don't get a chance.
You really do. And you're right about looking at things from a new perspective. So just when you're present, all these magical things can happen. And that's kind of what happens when you do meditation. But when you sit down to talk to your guides and angels, you don't have to call it meditation. It can just be for 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Just sit down and ground yourself and surround yourself with light and say, "Hi, guys, I'm here. Do you have any messages for me? Or I have this situation. Can you give me some information on it?" And even if it doesn't come then, it'll come further down the line. But you can do that when you're walking. You can do that sitting in the backyard. Anytime that you're in that space where you're present, you're there, you're connected.
Right. It's an amazing adventure, actually.
Yeah.
Just being present and just noticing things. It's like the time my brother died in December of 22, and it was cold, and I had to go out in the garage to get dog food or something. I can't remember what it was. And there's a hummingbird sitting there right in the middle of the garage. And I knew it was my brother. I knew it was. And every time I see a hummingbird now, it's my brother coming to visit. And that's the kind of thing that I don't know if I'm looking for it more than anything, but I'm noticing it. So
you're noticing it, but I think you're noticing it because it really is your brother. It's like when my 38-year-old son passed, I would get this song on the radio. And this song would always come on, and it would come on over and over, no matter where I was. I'd be doing things, packaging things up and having to take them to the post office. The song would be on the radio. I'd be coming in the house doing XYZ, and then the song would be on somewhere. So it was like a constant thing. And even today, when I hear that song, it's like my son reaching out to me. And
sure it is. Yeah. And I've talked about the fact that I went to Tubac, Arizona, which is kind of an artsy place, with my brother and his girlfriend at the time. And we had a really beautiful day there. And a year or two later, my brother passed, and I went down with his girlfriend because I wanted to go back to there. And I'm going to go into a building, and my brother's one of my songs, I think about my brother, the music box dancer, that came on. I'm like, oh my God, he's here with us.
Yes,
It's
he is. That was not by accident.
Not by accident.
Not by accident. I love that. I love it when that kind of thing happens. It's just too synchronistic to be anything other than that. And you get that feeling, you know.
Yeah, it is. And it's almost like when people say, well, I don't know if I'm making this up, right? Because, put it aside. Accept it as it's a gift that it is. And don't say, what, I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know. I may be wrong. No, you're not wrong. You're open to the universal energy that wants to come through. Linda, I think so. I think my brother is sending the bird to tell me he's thinking of me. Yep, yes, absolutely. Yeah, because I wasn't able to get back there. And,
it's not like he transformed himself into a bird. He is sending the bird.
Right. He represents him.
Yes.
That bird represents my brother. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, no starfish, Jenny. Let me see if I can find it, honey. I know you were looking for what your gifts are. Let me go back. Hi, Madame Maru. Hi, everybody who's come in since we started. Thank you. And Claudia, I did know. I'm sorry. I thought you did the Animal Reiki book, but you didn't. But you do write children's books. And there are some beautiful ideas that you could write. And Mary says some of them are broke. Your gifts are broke, and you have the broken blender. That's what you thought. I was talking about a broken blender today in my group meeting that I had with everybody. Janet DC does Reiki with her cats. I asked one cat what he wanted to tell me, and a picture slammed into her mouth.
Yeah.
There you go.
And one of the many ways that you will get the communication. So everybody you can get all the different things from your cats. So they'll tell you in whatever way that you can receive it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going back here, Jenny. Sorry, dear. I do see that you are an animal communicator, and I know you are because you've been on my show.
He definitely is.
And you're also an Akashic Records reader, and you're a psychic, and you're a card reader. You just
she's also
Jill of all trades. Yeah.
She's also a medium, but she hasn't
taken that yet.
Yeah. No, she doesn't have to take it. She just has to open up and acknowledge it. And when I first started, I remember Susan Lynn would come on with me, and she would be doing mediumship work or psychic work. And she told me, "You tell me what." She was put me right on the spot. She said, "You read," and I didn't have cards or anything at that time, and so I just kind of sat there and I thought, this person asked me a question about their brother who had passed, and I said, "I see him standing in a line like at a disco. Did he like to dance?" And he did. And in my mind, I thought he died of AIDS, but I didn't want to say that. So I didn't say that. Yeah.
He died of AIDS.
Look at that. So that's a lesson for all of us to know, that when we're seeing something, hearing something, when someone's there asking us a question, that is spirit coming through, giving us exactly what we need to know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It would have given him that sense of, I mean, he would go, "Oh man, that's him." For sure.
So Courtney is the one that was telling us that Hunter, her dog, that she works on, Hunter, and that's wonderful. But she has a talent of photography and writing.
Yeah.
And I think you could combine, you and Claudia could combine it for children, have a book for children. I mean, if somebody can sell Everybody Poops, then I think that you could do a spiritual book. So there you go on that one. Courtney, you could do the same thing.
You definitely could. You definitely could. But here's the thing. I mean, you have to have, and Aley and I have talked about this backstage too, your heart's desire, or your heart being ignited by something in some form of passion, or feeling that oh wow, this excites you, or you're excited about something, whatever it is that you're bringing forward, that's going to be your gift. If you feel that, I mean, you can do a lot of different things, but what is it that your heart calls you to do that you feel really good about doing? Those are when you know you're on your life path. That's when you know you've hit it. And then there might be like number 2, I do that, but it's not as, or number 3. Doesn't mean you have to do one thing. You can do them all, but you know what your main one is.
It reminds me of the question that they ask you when you're a kid, if you, or even when you're getting a job, if you could do any job you could and know that you'd just get paid enough, what would you do? What would you do?
Exactly. That's exactly that. And about writing a book, publishing a book, it's definitely something you can do. And it wouldn't be that hard to do it since you have the talent of photography. But just make sure that you're coming from your heart center when you're doing it and enjoying it, because that will translate into everything that you put in that book. That joy and that fun and that whatever it is, that joy of everything, that's what people are going to pick up.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to be work for you. Yeah, it's going to be a joy. Like this is for me. And I think for Val,
Yeah.
we enjoy doing this. This is what we really want to be doing, not some of the other tedious stuff. Somebody else can wash my floor. You know?
Please come over and do it.
Come over and do it, please.
I need someone to vacuum and dust.
Oh, yes, I think you're right. I could use that myself, but it is a really liberating thing if you take the blocks that you're having, and you could even call out to the angels and say, show me what I need. What can I be good at? Now, I will tell you, when I was in Sedona, I was really fortunate to get another Carolyn photography picture. And if you've never had one done, it shows your aura and the dominant colors that are in you. I don't know. I'm sure that the photography for that, the camera for that is probably a little expensive, but it would be just another thing that somebody might like to do that nobody else is really doing. And, it shows just the potential of what you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
So,
and I had one done, oh gosh, many, many years ago. And what's really fun is the colors that you see really have very powerful meaning for you. So, and it kind of does tell you what you're here to do when you get one of those photos, because of the energy. Like if you have a very strong intellect, you might see a lot of yellow. If you have a lot of passion, you're going to see a lot of red. And if you're extremely spiritual at that time, you're going to see a lot of blue and purple. Higher,
and white.
Yes.
You might even have a halo if you've done some meditation. Sometimes it's
all
like
those things, you can see all those things in your,
You can. Maria, you think? Maybe not everybody hears from or converses with the Holy Spirit. Now that is a big gift, dear. Yes, I would say you know what that gift is. I know that Val does some channeling of some of the higher, with Yeshua and Mary.
That's true. But when I go into meditation every day, the first thing I do is talk to Divine Source. So that's my number one. And then I go down my list, like my guides and angels. And then I go to Yeshua, and then I go to the Akashic Record Masters, because I don't want to miss having a conversation with anyone. But
yes. Yeah. I love that, Val. Val has a lot of friends in high places.
We all do. Yes, there's not one of us who doesn't. But I love that, Maria. I think that's awesome. And if you do, you might start channeling that information by way of writing it down and sharing it with others. If there's messages for humanity, those are things that you can do that can help others. If that's something that appeals to you or has any meaning for you.
Yeah. And some people don't want to be in front of the limelight. They're not interested. Yeah.
You have to have a calling that is stronger. And whether it's being a teacher or sharing some, like for me, it's sharing spiritual information. It's like a calling. It's like from the time I was a little kid, it's what I know I do, and I'm here to do. It was never any question. And and for you, you're a teacher. It doesn't matter. You're teaching spiritual things. You're teaching things for practical 3D land with your students in college. You're doing all these different things.
Absolutely. So Karen says she's a painter of clouds, and I love that. And I'm also thinking there are people like Annie Bear I know. She walks a lot, and she's very into the clouds, and she'll take pictures of them, and they look like people and animals and all kinds of stuff.
I've seen some that are like, what?
Yes, I know. It's
amazing. They really can be. They're almost like sending you a message or showing up, appearing for you in that moment. For you to have a connection. Yeah,
absolutely. Imelda, If you cry a lot, if you feel sad, and I'm sorry, but last night this happens every time. Every time that ad comes on for the animals that are being abused
Yeah.
and they want you to send money, I can't watch it.
I
I
don't.
want to just go adopt all those animals. And,
Of
so
course.
yes, we get hurt very easily if we're empaths, but there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with being an empath. And, it is a calling. And
I think one of the things about being an empath is you have to learn boundaries and you have to create for yourself an understanding that what is your energy, or is that pain coming from you or what you're feeling, or are you feeling
Right.
it from someone else or something else, like watching something? And that is your indicator that creating that healthy boundary is a good way to be able to go through life in a powerful way, knowing that that is a very heart-filled, kind of sad commercial, but it's made in order to, I'm sorry, you guys are going to get mad at me. It's made in order to make you feel a certain way because they are trying to raise money in a good way. I'm not saying it's bad.
I know.
But
No.
you
In the
have
Arms
to,
of the Angel starts playing, and
so yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's Sarah
Yeah.
McLachlan. So you got to
Yeah.
step away,
Yeah.
change the channel. It's your boundary, and realize, not getting sucked in, going to stay in my neutral place. I love animals. I give to, whatever, to tithe or whatever you want to do. So, yeah.
Honey, you love that fur baby just like your own child. Actually, they're closer than our own children sometimes
really
because
are
they give us
sometimes.
that unconditional love. So I'm sorry you've lost your fur baby. That's awful. And it's never, the only thing I can say though is I'd rather have one and lose them than not have them. Because there are some people that will never get another animal again because they can't stand the loss.
After I lost my 2 golden retrievers, when the kids were getting older and they were just about to leave home, and they both were at the end, like 14, 15 years old. And it's 2, and they were, they slept in our bedrooms. They were the family. So no, I can't. And loving to travel, I can't have
It's
dogs
understandable
because it's too hard to leave them when I have to go do other things. But all of you who have your fur babies, I know what that relationship is like.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Rose Blue says she doesn't know what her gifts are, but she says, I need to get an oracle deck. That's where you start, Rose. Please. So what you do is you get that and you just pull one card a day. And I would get a little journal, or you can even buy a regular notebook. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but if it's fancy, it's kind of special. And you write what your card was for the day, and you write what it means to you. And then you've got proof of what's been going on. You can look back on what you've pulled and see if there's a message there. And that's the best.
Absolutely. But after you open that oracle deck, one important thing to do is to, I call it, consecrate it to your heart. So you open that oracle deck up and you touch every single card and you make that connection and you just hold it at your heart and you say, I, dedicate these cards, say it in your own words, however you want, to the highest vibration of love, truth, and light and divine source energies, that all of the highest vibrational guides and angels will speak through these cards and give me and everyone else the highest truth for the highest good of me and humanity. Thank you. So that's then you've got them seasoned.
You've got them seasoned. And then after a while, if you use them, especially if you're reading for someone else, you might want to just smudge them, or you might,
or use a candle and put them over the candle, whatever or knock. It knocks the energy out. Those are many different ways you can do it.
Yeah. Good night, Diana. Sleep well, sweetheart. It's very late back
Yeah.
in Michigan. So
Yeah.
Barbara says she is an empath. Her guides talk to her. She loves kids, works in special ed and foster care. I read body language and you know what you have to do. You know what you have
Yeah.
to do.
It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like, since you already talked to your guide, you're doing your thing. So
Right. Absolutely.
yeah.
And that also makes you a wonderful caregiver for your husband, Barbara. So,
Absolutely.
it takes a special person to take care of someone with dementia. So
Yes,
much
it
love,
does.
much love. Yeah. This lady, she's an elemental person. That's what I think.
I think you might be right about that. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
she
really
is also a good channeler.
Is she? I
Yeah,
believe it. Yeah.
she's very good. She gets really beautiful messages. So,
Uh-huh.
what form of communication? You know, any. You can connect to anything. It's like they say, "Oh, they can read the phone book." That psychic
Uh-huh.
can read the phone book. Well, you can connect to anything,
Uh-huh.
Lisa. You can
You can't
connect to
just
anything.
believe it. It's there.
The
It's there.
elementals,
Mhm.
everything. Anything in nature,
Mhm.
anything in the higher, I mean, not to say that the elementals aren't a higher realm,
Right,
because
right.
they are, but I mean anything. You
Uh-huh.
name it, you can connect and get information.
So, Care Bear, I love that you're studying astrology, and not everybody is called to it or does it. It's very extensive. It's
Yeah.
almost like you have to sort of like live a life of it or something. I don't
Yes,
know.
it's like that.
But I
That's how
will say
complex.
it is complex. It is. But I will say that astrology has changed my life in having a reading, and I had a karmic reading many years ago, and that was amazing. So if you aren't an astrologer and you're not interested in learning about it necessarily, you could learn, it's not your newspaper astrology.
No, I love
Today,
that.
be happy with what you got,
I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much involved. There's so many things. It's like I totally agree with you. It's almost like you have to do it. It's a life. You have to commit to it to really remember everything. And
Yeah. But it's really, and that also tells you your gifts.
yeah,
Although if you think back on it, when you were a little kid, what
yeah,
is it that you wanted to do?
yeah.
For me, I wanted to be an actress on Broadway.
Who didn't? I mean, I wanted to sing, but why? I was born with a terrible voice. Can't carry a tune, but I mean, I have to tell you, I mean, little kids I had extensive dreams about what I'd like to do. I have a very good imagination. So
Uh-huh.
I know all of you, though, probably wanted to be something like, a ballerina or
Ballerina.
who knows,
Yeah.
a
It is
dancer.
interesting. It is interesting that some people who really have a close connection with their guides,
Yeah,
and they seem to be more introverted,
yeah.
have been told to come on and start a channel. I've seen that many, many times. You? No.
I am so
Really?
introverted. Oh my God. If I was standing in the middle of a room full of strangers, I'd be like, I'd sit down in my little chair and I couldn't approach
I'm
anyone. And
shocked.
I wouldn't
I'm
say
shocked.
hello to strangers because I wouldn't know what to say. And yeah, I terribly shy and introverted. Yeah.
Well, there's you, there's Susan Lynn, there's,
Yeah.
I don't know if Linda G really wanted to do it in the beginning,
No, she didn't.
and I'm sure that there's a lot of people that didn't. Yeah. For me, this is natural. Because I teach, so I
Yeah.
just don't think about it. But,
Yeah.
I never would have seen that with you.
Oh,
Not at all. I'm
yeah.
surprised. Yeah. Oh, Rose, says that's her too. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Some people at ballet. Professional ballet, Kay Muldoon. You
Yeah.
got a degree in communications. I don't know exactly what elementals are, but now I'll look into it. Okay. Well, they're fairies,
Yeah. Fairies.
sprites,
Yeah.
all the little people.
And
Yeah.
they're real because I've seen them. in my garden. So they
Oh, wow.
will love the connection with you. Love, love, love to talk to you, by the way.
Mhm.
They
Mary's
love
been told by an astrologer she's a walking antenna from Aquarius stellium, and people sometimes are put off because they're not ready to hear, admit, or accept. Oh, so you're just let them have it, Mary. And I love that
Mary.
because an Aquarius stellium means you have 4 planets in Aquarius, and Aquarius is in the air, and it
Wow.
just means that you have a very powerful, you're a powerful air sign. That's why you're such an antenna.
Oh my goodness.
I
Well, they
know.
wouldn't come to you if they didn't want to hear
That's
it. So
I
think of it
tell you.
that way.
Well, it's funny because my mother was a Taurus, and she didn't like it, but she had the gift. She had the
Yeah,
gift. But
yeah.
she would be in the line at the grocery store, and somebody would come up behind her, and they'd say, "Hi, how are you?" And my mother was pleasant with them, and they'd say, "My cousin's gonna die of cancer tomorrow," or they'd unload on her. They'd unload on my mom, or they'd say, "I just got in a car accident and I lost my left leg," whatever it was. And my mother would come home traumatized, and she'd say, "Why do people tell me all this stuff?"
Obviously, she was a psychic and a medium
She
and all
was.
those things, and
She
they
was.
knew it. They could
They
feel
knew it.
it, but they didn't know. They didn't know, but they
That's
could.
correct.
Yes, so
Yes. But
that's
we
what
usually
happens to
seek
people.
people out, or we'll get that feeling. Sometimes, I don't talk about spiritual stuff, let's say, a
Yeah,
lot when I'm
yeah,
out. And
sure.
I was at the hospital with Keith, and this girl came in and she was doing something. And for some reason, I said something about astrology or auras, or I don't remember what it was. And she
Mhm.
said, "Oh," she said, "Do you like gemstones? I found out tiger eye is this and that." And I'm going, "Oh yeah, la la la." And she says, "Oh, I don't talk about this." She was like the lab girl. And so
It's
sometimes you can
yeah,
say something to somebody.
that's an example of someone realizing you're one of them.
Right.
They're able to say it. They're able to say it, and they just get that wavelength from you. That's why they stood in the grocery
Mm,
line with your mom and
mhm,
bared their
mhm.
soul. Oh my
All
god.
right. Well, we've got Kathy 11, and then we've got Garnet that has us to
Okay.
look into what he wants. So let's just go ahead and see what we can figure out. You would love to know what talent you are to be growing.
Kathy 11.
Mm.
Do you ever do anything with landscaping?
Ooh.
Because
I just
all
watched
I
a
can
movie
I
about
can
Master Gardener.
I
Yeah.
can just see you doing something in nature.
Oh,
And what
okay.
I picked Paz Paths Unknown. This is the karmic, no, Akashic Tarot. But look at
Uh-huh.
Paths Unknown. She's standing in nature. So there's something about
Ah,
this card
okay.
makes me feel like you are extremely connected to nature and you have gifts that you would use in that way.
Mhm.
Um, and I saw, but well, I saw you mowing the lawn. That's why I went to that place. But I mean, that's not. That's just something they showed me to give me
Uh-huh.
a clue. But I think along with that comes to, like Aley was saying earlier when we were talking about this show, an earth keeper, a guardian of the earth, or that you work with Mother Nature so you expand that out and you're a caretaker of the earth. So you're a light worker for the energy from Mother Earth to humanity and galactic, multidimensional.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of connectedness between you and nature in that way because you're a
Wow.
conduit between the worlds. I feel
Wow.
that there's a lot of things you might have wild dreams, or you might uh, know you have that connection. I don't know if you do, but you definitely do.
Yes.
And that
So I
includes
get it.
that includes elementals too, because that's
Yeah.
all related to the earth. Yeah.
And I got this beautiful little bird because that's part of being out there and
Yes, it
sing
is.
like the birds, but don't worry about what other people think. Be yourself and share
Yeah,
your heart and speak your truth. And don't be
absolutely.
afraid to be authentic and do that. I have to tell you, I've never been a gardener, outside clean up flower person. My whole life is like boring. I love it now.
See,
So we go through seasons as well. We do.
there
We
you
go through
go.
seasons. Yeah.
So
Hi, Pooja. All
thank
right.
you,
So
Jen.
we've got Garnet next, and then Madame Maru has a question. All right. I'm trying to follow all of you and catch up with you. We have 75 people here, so
Oh my gosh, that's a
this is a
lot.
good time slot. This is a great
I
time. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
37 of them on my channel. I'm like,
That's
what?
excellent. Yeah. That's awesome.
I'll tell you what, Garnet, they're saying you're on track. So
Oh.
just so you know, whatever you've been doing, and apparently you've been dabbling in the spiritual realm, especially on YouTube, I've noticed you doing
Mm-hmm.
all this, looking into Akashic record readings and all these different shows about dreams and everything. So I would say, you're probably already reading about all these different things. And I feel like you are a teacher that you could actually, as you really open up to all of this, that you will teach this all to other people. That's what I see for you as your main role. It's like you're going to
You've got
encompass
you've got
everything.
that personality that can help other people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel that way too.
Yeah.
Who knows? We always say some people will start their own channel. Yep, you're right on track. Yeah,
He's
you're right
on
on.
track. He's doing what he
Yeah,
needs to do what he's going to do.
yeah.
But he doesn't know yet, but
So
it'll
here we
happen.
go. Change your thoughts. I love this
Mhm.
card. Look at the little robot. He's
Mhm.
all downtrodden.
So
It says,
cute.
"What we sow, so shall we reap." If we plant seeds of defeat and failure and don't plan on harvesting, then we don't plan on harvesting success. So it's changing your thoughts about what you can do.
Yeah.
So if you are into scrying, go for it.
Yeah.
Work with it. See how
Yeah.
it goes and be patient with it, because it isn't something that might be immediate for you. But you might go and find the perfect stone, and then you could there are people that do crystal layouts. There are people that recommend stones for people. Val has a shop like that
Mhm.
that she has worked with for a long time. And yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's a lot available to you, Garnet. I do.
Absolutely, absolutely. But definitely you have information that you will share with others, and whether
Uh-huh.
that's writing a book, but I really see you in the teacher format in
I think
some
I do
way.
too. I
Yeah.
think I do too. Now, Madame Maru, all you have to
Valley.
do is
Thank
look
you,
at her
Valley.
picture. All you have to do is look at her picture and you know that she's a gypsy.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Well, and the name, Madame Marou's House of Cards,
I love it.
I
She
mean,
just changed it to that. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it speaks for itself. And as far as Madame Marou, um, yeah, you're getting a lot of guidance, a lot
Uh-huh.
of information coming in, helping you.
Yes.
And as long as you are enjoying what you're doing and feel like you are appreciated by everyone, you're sharing your wisdom, you're sharing
Mhm.
your will and mind with the divine, because you're
Mhm.
connecting and you're sharing what you get. So
Yeah.
as you do this, um, yeah, I feel like you are definitely, but I feel like I do see a brand new set of tarot cards that you're going to develop if you haven't already. Uh, and it's going to be beautiful.
I bet.
In fact, you might do 3, and
Oh,
you might do a
wow.
little books for them.
Okay.
Uh,
There you
so
go.
I think that's coming for you. And you're going to expand what you're doing too in some way. I did a live with Gerald today.
We
Good for
did it. Oh, that's
you.
awesome. That's awesome.
Awesome.
It's really great. And trust yourself. Know that
Yeah.
you are in the right path. And the
Yeah.
fact that you changed your name, Maruta, to Madame Maru, it's just
I
it
love
just
it.
makes it's like
And
you've titled yourself now. You've said, okay,
you
this is what I do. Yeah.
stepped into your power, and I see those
Kind of, Bella.
three decks coming, whether they're oracle or and some tarot, whatever it is. I see them being created and going out there beautifully done.
And
Selling on
Kickstarter
Amazon.
does that, Madame Maru. Kickstarter does that if once you develop them, and you can let us know here on YouTube, and we'll promote that so people can
Yeah,
go and
absolutely.
hopefully print them out for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Mary thought you did a great job too. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I am really happy that all of you are here. Karen Doyle says maybe she should start a YouTube channel with her paintings. Absolutely.
I have to
Absolutely.
say, Karen
Yes.
Doyle,
Yeah.
get out there with those
Please.
paintings. I love that. I mean, totally. Using my
Penny wonders
technique.
if you might know what her stone is. I mean, see, this is the kind of questions, and this is the kind of show I've always wanted to have for this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I have to say, I see you with two different ones, a beautiful topaz, a yellow topaz. Yellow topaz, there's something about it, it's sort of golden colored. And also, I see you with an aquamarine, and they can just be rocks. But I'm going to tell you, those two together for you, for some reason, that gold is full of wisdom and divine information for you and gives you that connection to the higher realms in terms of your intellect and connecting. And the aquamarine is like the higher spiritual energy coming in. So it marries a bunch of good things for you. Yeah.
It does.
I have to say, yeah.
Oh,
I love that.
We have about 3 minutes left. Didn't know how many people were going to come. Are really happy with the group that we've had tonight, and we're coming back in 2 weeks. Val will be the one that will host. I'll simulcast, but we're going to try to make this every 2 weeks, and so you can bring your questions. And actually, we just did a whole myriad of different things, and that's okay. That's okay, because riffing is the best way to get through. Some of you, I'm sorry, we just can't get to you this evening because we've been here almost an hour, but we will be back next in 2 weeks. It's 7:30 Pacific time. I know that's late on the East Coast. I know, Imelda, it is quick. Sometimes it is, and sometimes when we're doing a show, we're like, oh, we still got.
You're having a good time. It's quick.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for weighing in, for loving each other in the chat, and for being with us, and our wonderful moderators always. And Val, from my heart, I'm so happy to be with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody sleep well. I know it's late where you are on the East Coast. Much love. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.